John, I'm delighted that you are being honored tonight for 17 years of hard work, both locally and nationally, to make sure that we get a cure for juvenile diabetes. I know that not just Allison, but every young person in America who has this difficult problem, and for that matter, as Mary Tyler Moore will tell you, every adult who's living with it, is grateful to you for your time, your courage, and your commitment. So, Mary and Larry, make sure he has a great time tonight. It's his night.
I'm Mike McDonough, John's much younger brother. When I was asked to say a few words about John for Man of the Year, I really thought about it, and really to explain what I mean by Man of the Year, we have to turn the clock back a few years. John was diagnosed with diabetes 58 years ago. And being a few years younger, I'll be honest, I don't remember a great deal about the time, except some things I remember very well. When he was first diagnosed, my mother told me he has diabetes, he's fine, he'll take a shot every day and eat special foods. She told me I would eat the same foods. I figured that's not all bad, I don't get the shot. John was always very disciplined, very, very committed. He really did everything, and Mother said he could do everything, and he really worked at it to do everything. All through high school, grade school, and college and so forth, he did everything. He managed himself so well, I really forgot I would tend to forget that he's diabetic, and went out through his life. I think one of the toughest time in John's life is when Allison was diagnosed. That was very, very tough. We had several conversations after that, and the one thing that always came through loud and clear was that John was committed to find a cure. In his words, he would say, I just don't want to see another child, whether it's ours, our grandchildren, or any child, have diabetes. There's got to be a way. John, you have been very, very generous with your commitment of time and money, but probably most importantly, time. You have committed untold weekends, untold weeks, and years of time and your personal money to fight this. You have been an example for all of us. Going back again over those years, I can remember in detail those trips of John to the Evanston Hospital, wondering really how sick was he and would he come home again? It was that tough. John, you have set an example for all of us. And yes, we are here to celebrate your being Man of the Year. But in reality, John, you have been my Man of the Year for the last 58 years. In Maryland, for the past 40 plus years, you have been there with John, supported him, been there through the good times, the tough times, and the really tough times. Like when John lost his leg a year and a half ago. I don't know how many days you slept in that chair 24 hours a day at the hospital. But Marilyn, you are certainly Our Lady of the Year.
Currently JDF International Chairman of the Board and Vice Chair and CEO of the Freeport, Illinois-based Newell Rubermaid Corporation, John McDonough's life is one of determination, optimism, commitment, and compassion. John has been married to his high school sweetheart Marilyn since 1957. Together, they are the parents of 5 children and 5 grandchildren. John has often been quoted as saying, "I am not afraid of dying, but I am afraid of not living." His story shows that he has lived indeed, and that he ardently wants others to live as well. Born in Chicago in 1936, John graduated with honors from the University of Notre Dame in 1958. In April of 1999, John and his daughter Allison traveled to our nation's capital to lobby before the House Appropriations Subcommittee on Labor, Health, and Human Services in an effort to get more federal funding for diabetes research programs. Later that year, he was back in Washington to participate in JDFI's first Children's Congress. While building and merging companies, John has never forgotten the effect diabetes has had on him, his family, and the 16 million Americans the disease afflicts. With his help, JDFI has organized itself on a business work model and has consistently ranked high on the lists of nonprofit organizations for its efficiency, with 80% of each dollar raised going to research and education about research. John's perseverance and determination has helped JDFI to grow dramatically, and in fiscal year 2000, JDFI expects to award an unprecedented $75 million to research. Yet even though his work with JDFI has become a valuable and rewarding part of John's life, he lives for the day a cure is found and JDFI goes out of business. John J. McDonough's determination, not only to live, but also to defeat this disease for the sake of all who have it, offers an inspiring example to us all. Never have truer words been spoken.
Hi, Chicago. Congratulations, John. I'm really happy for you. It's an outstanding honor and well-deserving, I'm sure. I'm Bill Wennington of the Sacramento Kings, and I've been involved with JDF for many years now. My sister is stricken with juvenile diabetes when she was 6 years old and struggled with the disease pretty much her whole life. Has gone blind because of it and was on dialysis for 2 years, and has since 5 years ago went on the dialysis and had a pancreas and kidney transplant 3 years ago, and is doing wonderfully since that time. But JDF has been a big supporter in her life and my life throughout my lives. And I met John through JDF, and about 4 years ago, he won my clinic and spent a lot of money to have me give a basketball clinic for his family and friends, and we just had a wonderful day with John and his friends and family playing basketball in the gym. He really was a first-class operation. He went above and beyond, actually, what he was supposed to do, and really took care of me and his friends and family for the day. And I just want to thank John for all he's done for JDF, and I know he's very deserving of this award, and I congratulate him greatly. Thank you.
John and I go back a long ways. In fact, if you can picture John as a young fellow in short pants and bangs, we grew up together and played a lot of sports: football, basketball, hockey, golf, and snow skiing. In fact, I was going through my closet the other night and I came upon one of John's golf balls, I think. Yeah, that's the name he always used to have on it, Range. We had a great time, and John has done a lot of extraordinary things in the business world. He's done a lot of good things for his shareholders, his customers, and especially raising money for diabetes. Thank you.
John McDonough, you all know him as a wonderful family man, devoted husband, successful CEO, and terrific contributor and supporter to JDF. Well, let me tell you about the real John McDonough. Marilyn knows this, and so doesn't his family. He's a 1.5-legged diabetic golf hustler. I speak with authority. He's taken more money off me from places like Aspen, Colorado, Cocoa Beach, Florida, Naples, Florida, Chicago, Rockford. The list goes on. And why? Because he's dedicated and committed to what he does. But those of you who are JDF supporters already know that. I'm very proud to stand here and congratulate Marilyn and John for this wonderful honor. Good luck, champ. You deserve it.
I've had the chance to know John for a long time, and I'm so pleased, proud, and to have him recognized as the Man of the Year of the JDF in Chicago, and also the chairman of the board of the organization. I think it's a great honor for all of us that are even associated with John. I think it's great. I'm very pleased for him. And I know it's a great credit to the JDF and to him to have him as the Man of the Year. I first met John in 1983 or 84, back there, when I had a chance to hire him as the financial CFO, if you want to call it, Chief Financial Officer of Newell. We were both a little younger then, okay? But anyway, I talked him into coming to Newell, and he moved up here from Georgia or Louisiana or someplace, and did a super job for Newell at that time. Reorganized the treasury and the financial function. He was instrumental in the Miro acquisition, which was a key operation for us at that time. And there's no question he enhanced our reputation on Wall Street at the time. I had had a son that had diabetes, so I knew something about diabetes and the problem of it, and but I never liked needles or anything, and I don't remember when I knew that John had the diabetes, but I do remember being on an airplane going to St. Louis back there in 1984 sometime, when all of a sudden John opened up his shirt and opened his little kitty and stuck that needle in there, and I'm looking right at him, and became very much aware that he was living with diabetes right in the midst of our own work in his own place, so to speak. And one can't help but admire the way he's handled that disease and what great physical shape he's kept himself in all these years, you know. I know that's supposed to be debilitating, and by the time you reach 60, you're supposed to be pretty well shot with diabetes, but here's John, 64 or 5 years old or something like that, in great shape. And so it's just other part of his character that comes through, how well he's taken care of himself and the disease all these years. And we sure admire that, sure admire that. So I'm delighted to see him get recognition for that, also recognition for all the work he's done for JDF in all these years, the important things, the money he's raised and the people he's contacted, the networking he's done. All the things that hopefully might bring this thing to a close at some time. So, congratulations, John. Congratulations to everybody who's involved with the JDF. You picked a great man this year. Thank you.
Hi, John. I'll never forget that wonderful, unforgettable night that we had in Chicago. And now, once again, this is the big one for you. You know, I know everybody loves you so much, but how much you've contributed to all of us and how deeply we feel about the great contribution that you've made. You could smile for the rest of your life, wherever you go. So I wish you all the luck in the world, and have a great night. Enjoy yourself.
I'm Jackie Singer. And I'm Mollie Singer. We would like to tell you how grateful we are to have John McDonough, because he has done so much to the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation and to all of the diabetics like me. A couple of years ago, Jackie wrote a letter to God asking him for angels from heaven. And he did send angels to help me with my diabetes. And John, we think you're our angel. You are so special to us. And because you're so amazing, we're going to thank you in our way. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Have a great night, John. We love you. Bye, and we miss your hugs. Bye.
We love you.